shining a beacon on the bazaar.
Right, Arcade. I think we're in a bit of a pickle here. We're completely isolated on the cove.
Pete, no,
nothing. It's been too stormy.
Oh shit, man! It's been days. I'm kind of like running. I think I've run out of stuff.
Well, another stuff you've run out of. You run out of the booze, haven't you?
I've got no grog. Wait a goddamn minute.
Yeah.
Can't I try swimming?
What were your fucking history with dolphins?
I'll never make it.
They have never ever forgiven you for that tight little romance. Like one of those dolphin girls.
She's still out there. She still looks at me, squawks and squeaks at me.
I know, but it's like love hath no fury like a dolphin sperm.
Exactly. Ain't nice things she's squawking. It's really not
and
nice.
All family, all uncles and brothers.
Her daddy's a nutter.
That's it. And I've heard they've been having a bit of a word with orcas as well.
Oh, I'm not going swimming. No,
that's the other issue. That's the thing with why Pete won't come over with motorboat is because of fucking orcas. We're isolated, Arcade.
Oh man, totally alone and no grog.
No grog, but look, see it is a good opportunity for the first time in maybe nearly 30 years.
It might be.
For you to dry out.
I did a week a couple of years ago.
A week? A couple of years ago. What is your longest? So do you think a week is about the longest?
I think I did 3 week. 3 week a year ago.
Did you?
Yeah, 3 weeks. And I felt when I'm walking around fucking Cove and that, people are like, God, you're looking good. I'm like, what the hell are you on about? I did look really healthy and that.
What's wrong with me? I don't drink. I look like shit.
Well, let's see in 3 weeks here.
You might just look like me. Both identical, like grumpy.
All my booze hair, all my alky hair falls out and that.
Can you imagine?
Because
that is your theory, isn't it, about alky hair? Tell everyone about alky hair.
So basically, when you see tramps, they've always got a right good head of hair, haven't they? And it's the piss that does it, you know what I mean? And I'm a complete hound on the beer. And I've got a bit of a duck pond, but I've still got luscious hair.
Bald pond, but you've got long hair that covers it.
It does,
got a back comb over it.
It's totally. That's why I did it. I thought one last chance, but if it keeps going.
I mean, like the front, it's still all there. Really.
It's not bad. It's a bit Dracula, a bit Christopher Lee-ish.
Got a little bit of a witness peak going on, but compared to mine,
you're like an egg. That's when it falls on the floor, he gets a little bit of fluff
on it.
Bit of belly button.
It's like a rolled and hard-boiled egg on bathroom floor.
Plebs. Jesus, you nearly killed me doing that. Wow.
Yeah, so this could be the good thing. But I mean, there's a lot of good things come from not drinking, you know what I mean?
True, because last time I did it, I got weird dreams, man. Because I can't remember my dreams ever. Wake up in the morning like I kind of pass out on a night and then I wake up in the morning just like a newborn Benny.
Because you're not really sleeping, to be fair, you're just unconscious.
Yeah, that's what it is. I just pass out places. Yeah. Normally in my bed if I get there. But then when I sobered up, oh my God, the dreams were vivid and crazy, and it were like really real lifey ones. I was thinking, is this telling me the future? My sober fever dream.
Yeah, have you had any dreams that you have seen? I've seen this in a dream. Have you had anything?
Well, I always that 3 week I was dreaming like Otley but upside down. Everything was like a mirror image of Otley.
Really?
But other way around. You know what I mean? It was really distinct.
What, a mirror image, or was it literally on ceiling sort of thing?
No, like mirror image. So everything were like left were right, right were left, and
really,
and it was I was going places and I would keep going back into this village. You know what I mean? And but different stories, completely different things, but it was the setting were the same.
Right, and, interesting that.
And that's what I thought. Right, if I have to do it, I'm going to get like a little book next to bed and think, right, just scroll it down quickly, the feel of it and whereabouts I am. If you go back to like bloody place, I don't know.
Well, that's been a big thing for me. Is actually I've had loads of dreams in very specific settings. I revisit a terraced house up Stanley Way.
Wow.
Which I dreamed I owned when I was younger.
Crikey.
And every now and again I'll go back to it, and then I forget. I think, oh shit, I've owned a house. I own this house, and I'll go back and I'll visit it, and I can it's a row of 3 terraces. I've got the one that's 1, 2, 3 along from the right.
Yeah.
In the middle of this set of terraces.
Wow.
To the right-hand side of all these terraces, a bit of waste ground and a bit of stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Sounds like my old house, doesn't it?
It's very different, because that's what I thought. It's a little bit similar, but it's not. This is different. And it's very specific.
Isn't it weird that you go back to the same places sometimes in dreams? Because I do that a lot, you know what I mean? That week, those 3 weeks, and other times in my life, I really feel like I'm at the same place.
Yeah.
And I'm not thinking, oh God, I'm in the same place. It's when I wake up and think, that's the same fucking area.
I visit a road which I travel along a lot, which is, there's a road and it sweeps around, sort of like, so it curves slightly. It's a long road, curves slightly to the right and then goes to the left, so you can see it sort of curving at the distance. A dry stone wall on the left of it. Fields flow down from this road down to sort of like it must be like a bit of a valley bottom or something like that, but it's only a gentle sweep, very Yorkshire looking. Forest to the right hand side. There's a stone stile in the wall which I can walk down, and there's like a little stone building built into the wall, sort of off the wall a bit, that's derelict, and there's nothing particular in it, but it has significance. Yeah.
The only thing I know, I dream nearly the same thing every night, and it makes my tail go stiff.
Is that when you're a cowboy waiting to shoot other Indians?
I wake up, it's all big arcade, and I don't know why.
You got bone in your tassel.
I'm born in my tassel. Oh, where to put it? Yeah, I don't know what it is.
No, that's weird, is that?
I don't know.
It's very strange. So you think now you're going to have a little project where you're going to write down your dreams and see them in the future?
I'll bring it in next show.
Well, the good thing is it has been done before as that.
Fever dreams.
Yeah. Well, no. What it was there was a writer, and he's called Sam Knight. And he decided what he wanted to do was go through this sort of, well, it's actually, the writer wrote about it, right? But in 1966, there's a psychiatrist called John Barker, right? And he was working in a bit of an old sort of mental hospital and that sort of thing, right? Yeah. And what he decided to do was actually sort of like ask people to message him. So 66, so these have been letters from people about their dreams. And he wanted them then to sort of send in their dreams, which he think either predicted something that happened or was going to predict something that might happen. So dreams that he thought were predictions that, like I said, have happened or were going to happen. And he just got thousands of letters in, right?
Yeah.
And he called this whole thing the Premonition Bureau.
Wow.
Right? So the Premonitions Bureau, right? And that's what he did. He collated all these evidence of dreams and all that sort of stuff. And one of the biggest ones he actually had of all the things was loads of Welsh people, well, other people as well, saying that what their dreams was of this one particular incident, and it was seen like sort of like villages, towns, and this massive black cloud go over everything. There's this thing where people were saying we saw this sort of like a school, and then it was overwhelmed by blackness. And what it was the Aberfan mining disaster.
Oh, that big slag heap or something.
That's it, yeah. It was these gigantic, well, the slag heaps. These were slag mountains.
Next to a school?
They'd been built, well, they were next to an entire town. Jeez. So basically, this town was a mining town. All the people going out and be mining, digging all the sort of like slag up out of the ground to get to the good coal. And all they just do is pile it up, and these just vast mountains. And they had weeks of rain. And the weeks of rain were sort of like slowly soaking into all these slag heaps and destabilising them, turning them like a slurry. And people would like hear things, they'd hear these booms and these weird like creaks and stuff, and they didn't know what it was. And then it was on, I think it was like a winter morning in sort of like the 50s or 60s or something, that everyone was sort of like, all in school, and suddenly everybody heard this almost like this cataclysmic boom, and the slag heaps collapsed and swamped the entire town.
Oh, the town, not just the school.
The town was swamped by it. But what happened, the main hit was the kids had all just gone into school. All the children from the town had gone into this school, and it was completely smothered, and hundreds of kids got killed.
Oh man.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously that's a dark incident, but the amount of dreams that had occurred around that.
Did you think? I don't really get when Einstein says time's not relevant, is it? Well,
yeah.
And you think, well, if the beginning and the future and the past and the middle, if it's all one kind of soupy mess, you know what I mean? There's not one surely you could be able to pick little.
Well, but I think
future.
it's because they've already kind of proved it. I think they've already said if you to. I mean, this is only like loosey goosey.
Yeah.
But I think they've already said like if you were to sort of like travel at this huge speed to Mars and back, and keep like a digital sort of like watch going at the same time, it would be a different time when you got back to Earth.
Wow!
From the journey, you would have it might only be like half a second or something.
Yeah.
But basically, what has happened is it proves that if you were to travel, I think if you travel at the speed of
like Superman did.
Yes, pretty much like that. Yeah. Wandering round and round and round. But no, well, basically, what it is if you were travelling at huge speeds, time becomes irrelevant. I think time is totally at a standstill at the speed of light or something.
That's far out, isn't it?
Yeah, this is it. And I think they've discovered that now that if you could sort of change time completely. So that has proved that time is not this. Time is elastic. Time is totally. So
when you might be able to sense it in your dreams.
Well, not just in your dreams. People do say as well. There's a very good possibility. It's almost like a wave field is time as well, in the sense that when you sort of feel like time's absolutely dragging. It's not just our personal perception of it. It could be a point that in that particular area at that particular time, almost like a tide. Time might be just reacting in a different way sometimes.
Like some solar flares got you, and it slows down.
Oh no, not really. Don't think of it like that as if there's an outside influence. Imagine time is like a tide, or it's almost like a sea. Some areas it's moving fast, some areas it's moving slow.
It's like, do you believe in deja vu? It's like, do you believe in deja vu?
Well, I have had deja vu incidents where I have actually thought I've known exactly what's going to happen next, said it in my head, and it's happened.
Wow!
But it's only been very momentary and very pedestrian. It's like I know this person's going to say this.
Yeah, I've had that. Yeah.
But then again, I also know
manifestation. You know what I mean?
Well, it could be, but then again, it's not something. No, because I think so. For manifestation, I think you have to kind of almost like will something to occur, not be aware that something is occurring.
Oh, you believed it that much that you willed it?
Yeah, but well, I don't know, because if you're so certain, I think you have to really, for manifestation to actually occur, if it's a real thing, I think you actually have to put the fucking balls into it. You have to go double down, grit your teeth. I want this to happen.
Yeah. Write down spontaneity.
And you don't want Jeff from accounts to actually say, do you want a coffee or a hot chocolate? You don't have to. That's not willed. You're actually witnessing something quite pedestrian occurring. You're a witness to that incident, I think.
Well, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to record all this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And October the 1st.
So
woke up with my willy stiff again.
October the 2nd. Once again, willy stiff.
Reoccurringness.
I can see correlation in these incidents.
There's a pattern.
But we have to do this. Is going to be a thing for the Cove now. I want you to record everything, all your dreams. But also, perhaps you've got your pen, got your writing, your stuff down. Perhaps get a highlighter as well and highlight specific incidents which seem to have extra strength within those things. Because by jotting down your dreams and incidents, sometimes just in the writing of it, you think that was the thing that stood out more than anything else.
And
that could be the thing that might have most meaning.
Oh, I'll give it a go. Might as well. When I'm sweating all piss out and rolling about in bed like some crazy monkey.
Where will you be doing all this?
In my pit.
At Kraken Cove.
Oh, yes.
The podcast that shines a beacon on the bazaar. And I'm Matt.
I'm a Benny.
So what we're going to do now, we've got the first little incident now. We are, as if you're new to the whole thing, after our mad psycho babble that we've just gone through now, we are I suppose a podcast that really does, as I say, we do look at the bizarre, the unusual. It could be just news stories, it could be absolutely sort of way out there, sort of like wacky kind of
ghost, aliens, or just like say the everyday weird shit.
Everyday weird shit, you know what I mean? We are sort of like our spiritual father is Charles Fort from Fortean Times, so he sort of really does give us the influence on that, and the fact that he just looked through newspapers. His main way of detecting anything weird was just looking through newspapers.
That's it.
So we look on the internet.
On interweb.
Yeah, and if we can't find it on the internet, we just shine our special beacon of our magic lighthouse out, and we find the incidents in that way. So without further ado, I think we should cast that light out.
Oh yes, far away.
Because that's what casting is. When we talk about casting, we're going to cast that light out and see what that magic beam picks up.
Oh, can't wait.
catch up from, if you remember, I think it was the last episode where we had the guy who thought he'd won £11 million on the lottery. You know,
brilliant story with that one. Really like the delusion to that one.
Yeah. And that's what I kind of liked about that one. You know, he was basically a deluded guy who thought he'd won the lottery, and he was really cross that he hadn't won the lottery, and he even bought a fucking lottery ticket. The daft twat.
That's brilliant.
What a silly bollocks. But we've got another guy here, another lottery winner.
Oh yeah.
So we've got a guy called Pete Daly, right? Now he's won the lottery.
Cool.
He's got his lottery ticket. He's won his thing. He's contacted fucking Camelot and everything. You know, he's not got his money.
Oh, what?
Right, he's not got his money. Right, so he got it on the Euro Millions. And so the 71-year-old says that he won on the Euro Millions 34 days ago, and when he rang up to put in his claim, he was told the money would be paid to him within 10 days. Right. Now, he's told this story to the Liverpool Echo, but this has been reported by Manchester Evening News, right? And he says it has now been 33 days since he put in the claim, right, and there's no sign of the money. This guy's so fucking poor, right, he's eating out of food banks at the moment, right?
Oh, he's a millionaire.
He says he's got his fucking... all his money he's had to pay for his car insurance renewals, all that sort of stuff. He is on his arse bones, right? He's waiting for his money. He hasn't got his money. He's doing badly. He can't go out. He can't go places. He's just waiting for his money, right? And unfortunately, that £582.20, he's still sitting in the Euro Millions.
Oh, bless him. Right. He's big win, oh, come on. Yeah, come on. Big 500.
It's almost within his grasp as that £582.20. Teasing him. He's just too delicious. They're tantalising.
Oh, bless him.
He says, I've been living on food banks all month because it hasn't come in. I can't afford a haircut. I need new shoes. I can't afford anything because I paid for the car insurance thinking I'd get this money in 10 days. He said, I'm stuck in the house. I can't afford to go anywhere. I can't afford to waste the fuel. I need this money. I'm struggling, right?
Now, how fast is he going to spend this? Haircut, shoes, petrol?
It's about 4 hours.
Yeah.
He's going to spunk this £582.20 up against wall, innit? You know what I mean?
Oh man, that's tight.
Don't get me wrong, I am not taking piss out of people for being poor,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But my big issue with the lottery, right, is number one, it's gambling. I'm not a fan of gambling.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm against gambling. I think it's this pipe dream. If you want to do well, if you need money, if you're desperate, right, you know, you have to unfortunately go out and try and find it in other ways.
I love gambling, but go on.
You would. But if this guy's relying on this 582 quid, you know, he's unfortunately he's putting his hopes on the wrong horse, as it were.
Yeah.
You know
How many scratches do you do a week, pal?
Well, I can answer that question, right? Right. So he's complaining. He said, I've won £582.20, and every time I ring them up, I get a different story. I've been paying the lottery for 10 years. Now that's £10 a week, £1,040 a year, right, for 30 years. And I finally make £500 and they won't give me it. Now I see part of the issue here, right? Yeah. And part of that issue is, right, £10 a week for a year is not £1,040, right? It's £520.
You've done the maths, kid.
I've done the maths. As soon as I saw the number, I thought, I might be able to see where Pete Daly's struggling here, right? Yeah. He can't do basic fucking maths, right? Now, the other basic maths aspect of this, right, he's complaining because he's being given the lottery £10 a month for all this time. So he thinks he's entitled, right?
Yeah.
He's been playing for 30 years and this is his first win.
Jesus.
Right? If he'd just been popping that in the bank without interest, he'd have made £15,600 now, right?
Yeah.
If he'd just been popping that to one side for a rainy day.
Yeah.
Now, 30 years, right? So he's 71 now. This is from the age of 41 he'd been doing that.
Yeah.
Right? So for 41, he'd probably been working all that sort of stuff. You'd just pop it in the bank, Pete. Yeah. Pop it in the bank for that rainy day, that £10. He doesn't also realise that £10, they don't owe him.
Yeah.
You know, if you, it's for a chance. This thin as a cat's cock hair chance.
Easy, right? I give it up, me. I can't play it anymore.
Yeah, if you're going to sort of use that £10 to do something, the lottery's not your answer.
Yeah,
premium bonds is quite good.
Is it?
You get a bit of return on your premium bonds, but also the thing with the premium bonds is you get your money back.
don't understand them. They just seem like some weird old.
Well,
thing.
what it is, it's like almost like a
doing
bank.
pools.
But it's like almost like a little. So you buy into the premium bonds, right? So you buy a certain amount of premium bonds with them, right? Each of those bonds is allocated a number.
Right.
Those numbers then are put into a draw each month.
Right.
Or each week, I don't know
like
what it is.
lottery?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but the thing is, you keep your money. So it's like buying a lottery ticket and then getting your lottery ticket money back.
No, that's
Premium
smart.
bonds then is a pool of money which is invested.
Yeah.
So I think it's a government scheme as premium bonds, but basically that money is invested and used for other things.
Yeah.
But the money always stands. You don't gain interest in premium bonds.
Yeah.
The way you get extra money on them is if your number comes up in the draws.
Right.
But they come up quite regularly.
Yeah,
But it's not big sums of money. So you might have like 500 quid worth of premium bonds, right? And you might then go, one of my numbers came up, I got an extra 50 quid. Right. 50 quid goes in.
Well, you still got your money and you
still got your money and you got an extra 50 quid on top.
You need to ring this fella up.
I need to have a talk with Pete Daly, you know what I mean?
Because he stop immediately.
Well, I sort of worry because his maths is obviously very skewed, you know what I mean? He's got it a little bit wrong as Pete Daly, you know what I mean? And as I said before, my advice to Pete Daly and to anyone else out there is, if you're hanging on for 500 quid, I think you need a few more changes in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think you've made a lot of good financial decisions going forward, as it were, you know what I mean?
Just that last minute, I need new shoes, I need
a haircut. He can't spend the fuel in his car because he's waiting for 500. Right, when he spent that money, what happens after that?
Yeah.
Oh, Pete.
Has he got... Oh, I don't want to know any more about it. Is he working? Is he doing...
No, he's retired, he's you
right.
know what I mean? But I think part of this is crying poor tale, going, I need all this stuff and I'm waiting for my lottery money.
Bit of a paddy now.
That's it.
I bet they're laughing at him. Like, no, they'll give him another week.
Hey, Pete's phoned.
Yeah. Says he needs an haircut now. See what he says next week.
Yeah, that's it. To be fair, I didn't see a Pete. He did have quite long hair.
Yeah, he does need a trim.
He does need a trim, does the lad, you know what I mean? But I think, like you say, it's only been 33 days. It's not like he's had to wait sort of 2 years for this to come through, you know what I mean? If they said it'd be 10 days, it's 33, and he's fucking falling apart, is Pete. Pete's falling apart.
I used to work at a customer service desk, and it was mainly, tobacco. You just deal, like the queue were going out at door, poor area, and he just dealing these fucking scratch cards to him. And the way they used to shuffle up, and they'd have some to check, and then there were losers, or then they'll get the new ones, and they literally want to stand there and do it in front of you, and you're like, no, can you just do that to one side? I've got a customer behind me. And they're doing it with their nails, scratching,
clawing away at
really poor looking people, and they're buying raw meters of fucking.
And how much would that cost them?
Oh, like from a they get 10 £1 ones, or they're getting 3 15, 3 like £5 or £10. They're spending a fucking fortune, and then you'll see them shuffle back, right, really like pleased that they've got a tenner back or something. You're thinking, you have spent hundreds this week on it, you know what I mean? Every day you're doing it. This glimmer of hope, this little scratchy, and it were awful. This all silver shit were all over at desk and stuff on their side of it.
So
and it was just like cigs and scratch cards, and then big Euro Million rollover, the desperation. They're like,
But I can't figure with the big rollover. People go, but I've got a chance of winning 100 million today. 100 million, 1 million. Don't matter.
Yeah. The odds are shit.
Yes, if you're gonna play a lottery, go for one, but it's a right quiet one.
Yeah,
it's right low.
Yeah.
Because all hungry, desperate people are going wanting the greedy people.
Yeah,
wanting 100
the
million.
Billions that are going for 100. I think one went over weekend at 100 million. You know what I mean?
And what are you going to do with that then?
Probably a curse. It'd be too much too soon.
It'd be too much too soon.
I won't even last 6 months. I don't think.
You as a millionaire
would
be. If anybody out there
I don't want
to make
it.
Benny a millionaire, then we can observe him like live TV.
Keep it the fuck away from me. I mean, honestly, 6 months I'll be gone.
talking about untold fucking riches that fucking how they can ruin you and stuff like that, right? We've got another catch-up there, right? So we had a little lottery catch-up there. So I think we should catch up with your friend of mine, Katie Price.
I forgot to look into more. Oh, good lad.
Yeah, so we've got a little bit. So as we discovered before at the on the little Katie Price story, otherwise known as the model Jordan. She, for obviously for big bucks and big money, she allowed somebody to do a big poo-poo on her tummy. And, it is one of those things, it's quite disgraceful. She should be ashamed of herself and everything, right? But there has been a little interview with her in the paper, right? And I think it must have been just before this story came, right? Yeah. So she's been on a podcast, right? It's called So Wrong It's Right, with Olivia Atwood, right? Discussing all things Katie, right? From her recent book releases and her fucking golden years of being at magazines. And her OnlyFans account and all this sort of stuff. Just talking about what she does and all this sort of stuff, right? And she's basically saying, like, she goes, that she reckons she can be absolutely amazing when it becomes when it comes to being photographed and things. People might sort of think she's 46 years old in this fucking story, right? So she's cracking on, but she still reckons she is the best when it comes to being photographed. She says, I become an animal in front of the camera. I'm not going to do a voice.
Please don't. I
become an animal in front of the camera. I absolutely love it, and that's why you'll never see pictures of me in Instagram in bikinis or underwear, because that's all I've ever done, right? So she's claiming on her Instagram she's not placing pictures of bikinis or things like that, right? She's also saying because of all her upbringing, she goes, I tell my kids never to send any sort of sexual shots because believe me, they will come out, she says. She also claims, she says, I do OnlyFans but I don't get my bits out and all that because I never did. So she's claiming, alright, she's done topless, but basically she's claiming she's never got a fanny out for the camera and all that sort of stuff, right? But she says basically she is the best at what she does. Now the quote I particularly liked is, she goes, I'm not the most confident person, but put me in a photo shoot with a young 20-year-old and I'd wipe the shit with them.
Wow!
That's what she claims.
She's an animal in front of the...
So she claims she's not the most confident of people, right? Yeah. She's got some sort of body dysmorphia because she's having so much insane surgery, right? She literally looks like Frankenstein's monster.
It does scar.
Yeah, she's just scar tissue all over. Everywhere she's just scar tissue. She's claiming that she don't get a fanny out. We've seen a fanny.
Yeah, I've seen a fanny loads.
Yeah, she's constantly got a fanny out. And she's also claiming that she'd wipe the shit with a 20-year-old.
With the duck pout and all the, looking all weird, God, that's strange.
I think what it is, I've got a theory. What she does is she believes the cameraman.
Yeah,
so
go
this
on, baby.
Yeah, work it, baby.
You're a tiger. You're an animal.
She's clambering on, and as well, you know what it's like when you get a bit into your 40s, and you get a bit stiff and a bit creaky.
Oh, aye.
You know what I mean? So you can just imagine you clambering around, right, stiff, right, it costs all scar tissue as well, so she's a bit twitching,
Yeah.
Face not moving, an absolute mask. And she's thinking, oh, this is it, this is what I want. You know what I mean? That's how she's getting the jollies.
I'm an artist.
Yeah, I've
with
still
my
got it. I've still got it.
God,
and
that's
poor
strange,
lassie
isn't it? No, she hasn't.
I don't know anyone who can still. I don't think I could actually crack one off of a fucking.
No.
I've
never done it with Katie Price.
I've never had a wank over Katie Price.
And that's saying something because we're animals.
Yes.
We wank over everything. Anything.
Well, we're from that era, quite rightly, as you said before. Where are the Case Catalogue era?
Exactly. Argos, shower scene. Hello. Hello, Mrs. Robinson. Walking down Giddle. Ooh. What's that crusty, wet, smelly magazine under the bush?
That's going under the jacket pocket for later.
Thank you very much.
Retro Bramble mag. I'll have that. Yeah. And yet we see Katie Price there with the fucking everything out going, oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
It's gone all soft.
Yeah, that's it. Willie's gone back inside. Sleepy Snail's gone to sleep.
Sleepy Snail. Oh shit. Oh, well done, Katie. Best of luck.
We'll keep that one short and sweet, but we'll keep you posted anything more about Katie Price and Turd related, just to see what goes on.
It's been very low, the reasons, isn't it? Well, let's dig deeper.
Yeah, we'll dig deeper.
Keep cover,
Yes. And the last one in our little news roundup there, is we have been discovered. Again, we'll keep this one a bit short because it's not a non-story, but it's fucking weird. It's the US woman found chained to a tree in India.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, she tied herself to the tree.
Fucking knew it.
We knew it all along. We said it. We were the first. You heard it first at Kraken Cove.
Yeah, yoga book and everything else. I said my days in the wild.
Lolita Kai, 50, right, was rescued after about 10 days in the forest from fucking... So 10 days, not 40. Not 40.
Big difference.
Yeah. So chained there, left herself in the forest to die. Well, I think by the looks of things, really, what had happened was she was worried about her visa running out.
Oh, yeah.
Right? She says, right? They've discovered she bought all the fucking locks and chains herself, right? And tied herself to the tree.
God, that's mad.
They've discovered she doesn't have a husband. She's never been married there.
Wow.
None of the shit she said was true. What she's done is basically she's got a little bit fucking worried about visas and all this sort of stuff. Why the answer to that would be to chain yourself to a tree out there in the middle of a forest. Yeah.
It is. She's going straight for my days in the wild. You know?
Well, it's not going to right now, is it?
Absolutely.
You know, she's my on her ass now. Yeah, my days in prison. My days looking fucking stupid because I've been tied to a tree for fucking 10 days. You know what I mean? But again, it's that thing. All the little clues. You know, the fact she had a phone, a tablet, and sort of basically 290 quid in cash in rupees on a person. That don't happen.
It don't. And dragging her up there to, I know it's, you know, it's possible, you know what I mean, but it's still like
happened,
just a bit sus, you know what I mean. Just think, that's a strange one.
But you just think to yourself, don't you? Come up with a better idea. Yeah. Have a little think. Have a word with yourself. Have a little think.
Go to the consulate. Renew your visa.
Yeah,
it's not hard.
Well, what's keeping her out in India so much anyway?
I think she's trying to learn, you know, like again the book a bit in it.
Yeah, but you know,
yoga teacher in India looks good, doesn't it? Yeah, I'll just come back from India.
Yeah, but you know now nothing's looking good. You're not going to go to one of her yoga retreats, are you?
That's what she is.
Yeah, she's a liar, our kid.
She is.
Yeah,
a liar.
But that's all this was. This was a little proof there that we just wanted to say we were on it.
I'm never going to believe a word she says.
No, are you not?
I'm not.
Well, that's because I got you booked in all of the yoga retreats.
She's good.
Yeah, she's really good. You'll believe all about it.
Breathing techniques and everything.
All that sort
I
of
might
stuff.
get through all piss sweats and
the piss sweats. God, not worse, is that?
I love them. I love it. I'm fully deluded. I love that delusional bit to it. Yeah,
God, I hated it. You know, for those who don't know what the piss sweats are. Worst one is the next day piss sweats, you know, when you're weak and you can smell it on yourself.
That's bad. I don't like them ones.
Yeah, they're the ones I'm referring to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, I don't like them ones.
What are your piss sweats that
you know, you haven't been drinking, you go to bed and you have really weird dreams.
Oh, it's so back to the dreams, right? Yeah, I didn't like
thrashing
any of that.
about and everything like a big wet fish in a net.
Oh, God. Well, Jesus Christ. That makes me feel a bit ill.
That's me tonight. Don't peek into my room tonight.
Yeah, I'll leave you to it. I'll be sleeping the complete other end at Lighthouse, you know what I mean? Just like you. Where are you going to sleep?
On a mattress on the floor.
Alright, as usual.
You'll get the tone right, aren't you? You know?
Fuck, you got to aspire to something, don't you?
Exactly.
Fucking hell. This one, in a weird way, is almost like a little bit of a callback. I found a new piece of information on a piece we already covered. Now, this was covered quite a long time ago, and this is a case of a Walter Carvley, right? And Walter Carvley is a well-known person in our local area because the whole area of Carvley is where it's like a region near the Cove is Carvley, and it's spelt Calverley, Carvley. And it's come up a couple of times on the Cove as Carvely,
right? Yeah.
If you remember, one of the times, my favourite times of it coming back was our
Halloween special.
Well, we did a Halloween special, but what it was on cannibalism.
Yes. Oh, that were it.
Yeah, we did a piece on cannibalism, and there was a case where up in Edinburgh there was this absolutely mad, strong, crazy kid got broken out at the time when
he roasted that boy.
Yeah, he roasted a little fucking boy, a kitchen boy, and ate him. Right,
wow.
And so they shipped him down to Carvely, right, and where he eventually died, this kid, right. But the case of Sir Walter Carvely was he was basically part of the Lord of the Manor. He was the big name in the area. His dad was a hugely respected person called Sir William Carvely, right, and they were sort of like absolute big knobs of the area, right. Sir William and Sir William Brooke, 10th Baron of Cobham. Became Walter Carvely's guardian.
Oh, aye.
So what really occurred was his dad died when he was really young, leaving him tons of fucking riches.
Nice.
Never works well. He had some sort of baron was his legal guardian, but I don't know how hands-on he was.
No one's watching out for this kid with loads of pork.
That's exactly right. So like I said, we have covered this as a case on the Cove before, so I'm just giving you a bit of a brief overview, really. So basically, he became a gambler and womanizer. He made loads of rash decisions, spunk the money away. And eventually got to a point where he completely fucking lost his shit, right? Spent all his fortune and incurred tons of debts.
Yeah.
And when everything started to kick off with him and his missus, right, he went fucking Billy batshit, right? And he tried to kill his wife, and he murdered his 2 young kids, right? And Sir Walter Carvely was kind of shipped away. It was like the crime of the century, everything like this. You know what I mean? And even eventually, at the time, there was a play written about it. It was at one point was attributed to William Shakespeare, but it has now been taken out of the Shakespeare canon, as it were. You know what I mean? It was that kind of thing. But another thing I've kind of discovered from this is a bit of a roll-on. So, 10th of August 1605, which was just about 3 weeks ago. Almost exactly 3 weeks ago.
Well, it was 100 years ago, isn't it?
10th of August.
Ah, right.
What year? Sorry, no, you are right.
Am I Elizabethan?
Wait a minute, Archie.
I've got a car.
You know, you said like time's all bendy. But this is a case, right, where on that day Sir Walter Carvely was buried in York after being executed for those murders.
Right.
His execution method was brutal.
Oh, not hanging like normal.
He was pressed. So that's where they lay him out, tie his arms and legs down, and put a board on him, and just start putting rocks on the board.
Does his mate help him out? Is it that one?
Yeah, I think it might have been more weight sort of thing. You know what I mean? It might have been that one, you know. But we'll have to look further into that, you know. But the interesting part I thought was there was a fake burial in St Mary's Church, Castlegate, York, right on the morning of the 10th of August 1605. Right, it was a pretence. The reality was they'd actually hidden the body and they snuck it back down to Carvely, the body, and he was buried in the family plot. So he's buried in the local graveyard here. It's this mad murderer.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
is it named?
I believe it is. I believe it is. So I think we can have a little bit of a sniff around for this sort of stuff, right?
That was quite a nice place.
Yeah. So what happened then, though? So there was a warrant signed at the same time by the Vicar of Carvely, William Webster, right? He signed a warrant at York Assizes, along with 5 church wardens as witnesses of this same time. So Warren Skelton, Robert Harper, William Wilson, John Swaith and William Moss all declared that 4 local parishioners of Carvely, right? So we can see Carvely from here, named Robert Hare, Isabel Hare, Anne Brigg and Elizabeth Birkenshire, all accused of witchcraft.
Whoa!
This is the thing. They were accused of witchcraft, heresy and causing havoc and harm within the Carvely parish for up to 20 years prior before this murder, right? And of causing, right, the bad luck to the Carvely family by bewitching Sir Walter to go insane and conjuring up the blacker-than-night phantom dog that had terrorised travellers in the local woods, commons and moors since the 1550s.
Wow.
What they are claiming here is they conjured a black dog, a phantom spectral hound.
Oh, a black dog.
In those woods over there.
Fuck.
Those woods over there, right, which we can see. And that was the thing that menaced and threw the hex onto Sir Walter, right, to kill his family.
Wow, and it all spiralled down.
Yeah.
Ugh.
One of the accused, Isabel Hare, was alleged to have cursed her husband and eldest son to death 3 years prior.
Cursed to death?
Cursed to death, right? so that herself and a younger son, Robert, could inherit a small farm at Priesthorpe.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Another of the accused was said to have been Sir Walter's mistress, though with what had been going on with Walter and his wife Philippa, nonchalantly spending his money and entertaining her own high society friends, and often making gestures in public that his two youngest sons were not of his making, and it's more likely she was just simply his friend and confidant. What they're saying here is...
What kind of gestures is that?
Well, they're saying gestures, but watch his gossip.
Ah, right.
That's what it'll be. So
not
she's
like pointing at his dick and saying,
the
kids saying, nah. Pointing at a nah.
So basically, one of the accused is said to have been his witness, been his mistress.
Yeah.
The reality is, I think they were acquainted in some way.
Yeah.
But of course, people are also saying that she might have said around town, going, "Those two kids are his, you know.
Whoa.
Those two kids are his. They're somebody else's.
Yeah.
His missus had been having it away with somebody else, and those kids are his." But she was obviously some sort of confidant of Sir Walter Carvely.
Right, yeah.
Now, so she did have that connection, but of course, he's gone mad, started killing. I reckon there'll be counter rumours going on. Everyone going, "Do you know who's really shagging him? It's that lass there. She's doing it." You know what I mean? So I think it might be which one. They don't say which one it was. It's either Isabel Hare, but I think it's Anne Brigg or Elizabeth Birkenshire. One of those two are this mistress. You know what I mean? So basically, they were then snatched up with these 4 people accused of witchcraft, taken to York Assizes. So they were basically slung in the keep in York, right, and held there for absolutely ages, right? And they were mainly all accused of bewitching. So basically, all 4, in one way or another, were accused of bewitching Sir Walter Carvely. And because, again, these are just poor local people. They're trying to find a reason why Lord of the Manor, the absolute sort of like the upper classes, have gone insane. Witchcraft. That's all they could come across. So these were basically going to be scapegoats. So they were hauled off to York Assizes. They were all accused, held there for ages, right? But the thing is as well, they don't know whether, and there's a theory locally that this might have happened, they were thinking they might have been swum or ducked. So they think locally, in local ponds around here, these 4 might have been swum as in thrown in the water to see the float, or used ducking stools to sort of like. So they think that kind of like witchcraft torture went on in this parish here for these 4 witches. The classic stuff.
It was fashionable back then. They loved it, didn't they?
That's it. There was an area called Town Wells, was used for a washing pool, or known as Parson's Pond. Now there's a bungalow in that site now. But if you go to Carvely near the church there is that well is there. Those wells there. So it might have had its own pool as well. So but apparently the last time this pool, this Parson's Pond, was used, right, it was in the mid 1700s for punishing a local girl for her vixenish prophecies, along with a married couple who were always arguing, right?
What? So they get dunked for arguing all the time.
That's exactly it, yeah. So they have
Bond.
So they have sort of like found sort of like a local blacksmith have found sort of like receipts of his from the 1700s, right? So shillings for a cost of 1 shilling for new irons, a pivot frame, and things like this, right? And what all these ironwork were used to cover this pool. So they've discovered all this stuff were going on. I think they've got to a point, because I don't think they were very organised, were these duckings and things.
A bit like the mob.
The mob was kicking off. They'd all
get
have a few beers, get him in pond.
It sounds it. There with pitchforks,
right? Yeah, you would. You'd be
doing it right up.
You'd be in on this. You'd be right up front, fucking kicking off.
The one that shouts it first. Get him in, pond.
Yeah, right at the back. Right at the back with your pint.
Laughing like hell.
Get him in, pond. then it all goes like, yes.
Kicking now. They'll get a pie.
But what they're saying is now, so they don't know whether this actually occurred. You know what I mean? So what they're saying is, but they know the witchcraft did. But what is interesting about these 4 people accused of witchcraft, there's no accounts of these people coming back to Carverley. There's no accounts of their trials.
Right.
Now, what my thinking is of this is that the whole situation with Sir Walter Carverley was so sort of outrageous and so sort of like scandalous at the time, to sort of like wipe the blame off the upper classes. They had to have scapegoats for it. They had to say, it was witchcraft right there. They had no evidence, nothing. They basically dragged these 4 people away to prison, and that were it. And I think 2 things happened. One thing, they just let them rot in jail till they died without a trial. But I think the more likely thing was, I think they looked into it, they found there's no evidence. They didn't put them on trial. I think they let them go.
And they're not going to come back here.
And they're not going to come back here. They know full well
that
if they come back here, they're straight in fucking pond. Exactly it. That's what I think would have occurred. So this is just, it's a little snapshot. It's a little snapshot into the thinking of the time.
Terrifying times, though, Matt.
Well, the way the upper classes as well were untouchable. They couldn't. God forbid that they were doing something so awful as murdering their own sons. Who might have caused it? 4 local peasants. There must be a reason. So they've done that, and again, once again, political cover-up. That's what they've done with all this.
It's so fashionable, witch trials. It must be in terrifying times. Sometimes I think, well, witch is real, and you think, no, the one, you know what I mean? But I kind of like the idea that they were real, some of them, and then they were innocents getting it, and you know what I mean?
There's nothing to be said for what witchcraft actually is. That's the thing, you know, because there's magic and black magic. There's, as you say before, the intention of doing something and really willing something to happen. I think there was a lot of curing going on.
A lot of childbirth. That we like crazy old woman.
That's it. That's it. Giving, helping out. I think if you had certain injuries and stuff, you might have got this woman. She was just a wise woman of the woods who knew loads of potions and herbs and might cure illnesses. You know, people, certain illnesses or injuries of a certain era. Everybody might have just thought, oh, they're dead. That's it. You got an injury. Oh, do you know so-and-so? Old Jeff? He got this injury. He obviously was going to die. It went gangrenous. He went to go see old Betty at so-and-so and she's cured him. It's witchcraft.
Shoot up a load of leaves and spat it.
Well, there's also another belief system you have to remember. It's like, why all the fishermen on the coast and stuff never learned to swim.
Fuck.
Because their belief was that their soul was consigned to God if they went in the water. They were almost like meant to drown. Swimming was like an aberration. It was the idea that if you could save yourself, your soul was consigned to the depths. That was it. You were God's soul then, you know. But by not having that soul, almost like a sacrifice in a way, by cheating that power of that soul, you're cheating death, and you're almost seen as cursed. And there has been stories of people who did swim to shore and survive being beaten at death. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, look at that belief system of this superstition of the time. There might well have been a belief that somebody was so badly injured and sick and dying. That's their soul is going the way it should be going. You know, to the better place, as they believe. They just thought Earth. They thought it was an absolute teeming shithole, an awful place to be before you went on to the better place. Whereas then they're saying, oh no, he's hung on. He wants to stay around. There's somebody actually loves life here. Kill him.
So that was a rough movie though. Witchfinder General. Jesus Christ. I can watch horror, but that is really rough.
It's brutal.
It's really bad. Makes me feel a bit sick.
Does it?
Can't handle that one.
I always find it weird because it's Matthew Hopkins was the witch. We went to school with a kid called Matthew Hopkins.
I can't remember school or
We're hardly there, that's right. But there we go, a little snippet into witchcraft in the local area.
Brilliant story, and really touching back, so that's a great story already, and then you just added a load of spice.
I think what we need to do, at some point a little field trip. I think
we always say and never do it. Let's do this one.
We've done a field trip before. We have done once at Moors. We've done the field trip. But I think what we do is
100%. It's only over there.
It's only over there. That's what I mean. So I think in the next couple of weeks we're doing a field recording in the Carverley area. I think we need to find the grave of the murderer.
This is ace. Can I smoke cigars and wear my Columbo coat?
No, right, but we'll do that, so we'll go out there. So there's various trips we need to do. We need to find the site of the black dog.
Yes.
Need to find the site of the ducking pond.
Oh, yes.
And
dig him up.
We need to find the site of the Headless Horseman.
Oh, yeah.
Right, because it's, as you remember, it isn't a Headless Horseman, it's a horseman on a headless horse.
Yeah.
So we need to find that. So what we'll do is I'll see if we can dig up more stories of that local area and some weirdness. And I think we'll do a little bit of an exploration up there.
I'm loving that.
Field trip time, guys.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
When we take the road once more, for the planting and the pearling and the berry fields of Blair, we'll meet up with our kinfolk from all the world around, when the gang of good folk take the road and yellers on the broom. When yellers on the broom, when yellers on the broom, and I'll get you on the road again, when yellers on the broom.
So what I want to do now, right, I want to visit another angle that I don't think we've really covered on the Cove before, right? If somebody's really good, right?
Really good.
Really good, what do you refer to them as?
Really good?
No, but
genius?
No, that's somebody who's really intelligent.
Oh, really? Oh, as in a good person?
A really good person. Does nothing...
A saint.
Kid. A saint. And that's the thing, you know what I mean? People always talk about... Now, we will cover on this saints. We're going to do... I think we need to do a saint special, you know what I mean? You know what
Freaky
I mean?
people out there. Yeah.
That's it, you know what I mean? So I'm believing this guy is Elisha, and I believe he's sainted, right? But he's basically one of the prophets.
Oh,
right?
Elisha.
All that stuff. Well, you might have heard of Elijah.
Oh, right.
He's the most famous one, but one of his protege of Elijah, right, was Elisha. Now, Elisha was there for all the really big shit happening, you know what I mean? Like things like the fall of Jericho. All these really amazing things. It's about 830 BC. All this stuff was kicking on.
The good shit.
Good shit. The proper old biblical times, you know what I mean? Now, Elisha as a prophet is both a Jewish prophet, he's a Christian prophet, and he's a Muslim prophet.
Wow,
so he appears in all the things, you know what I mean? And he's performed miracles, you know what I mean? Now, one big thing that happened with Elijah and Elisha is when Elijah was taken up in heaven, sort of thing, right? Which is one of those great things, which I thought was really interesting, which was the story of the department of Elijah in the Bible, right? Is that Elisha inherits his powers, and this is told in 2 Kings 6:15, right? Mm-hmm. So Elijah and Elisha went together to the Jordan River, and Elijah rolls up his mantle, so his big cape, right, and strikes the water of the river.
Punches it?
Well, it probably strikes it with his staff, I'd imagine, you know what I mean? Now, this is familiar. The water's then divided, so the water's part, right, permitting both to pass over the dry ground, right? Then, what he does then, he gives the mantle to Elisha, this cloak, right? And by giving him it, that, right, it gives him all his sort of like prophet powers.
Wow,
it hands him over like magic coat, that kind of thing, right? But then Elisha says, he asks, can I inherit a double portion of his spirit? So he wants more.
Wants
double? Fucking more. So he wants double, right? He wants but that just says it in the Bible, right? So what happens, right, is suddenly a chariot of fire and horses of fire appeared, and Elijah was lifted in a whirlwind. As Elijah was lifted up, his mantle fell to the ground, and Elisha picked it up, right?
So it's back to the owner.
Yeah, that's it. It's got it back to the owner, right? So this is just by touching the mantle twice, he gets twice the powers.
Whoa.
That's it, right? And this is called a cultic vestment. And it's associated with prophetic might and authority, right? So what we're going to do now is
he riding around in a chariot now then?
No, because Elijah was taken up. No, this is what's the interesting thing about it. So basically what's happened, a whirlwind occurs.
Yeah.
In this whirlwind, there's a mighty flashing, as they call it, horses in chariot. A device or a vehicle of some sort, which comes down from the sky in a mighty whirlwind, and takes a guy away.
Yeah.
Alien abduction!
Absolutely. He's going to get that staff right up him, isn't he, now? You know what I mean?
So I think that's what's occurred there.
Wow.
But I think Elisha was a witness to this.
Yeah.
And he saw, by being a witness, I think he's been quite canny.
Yeah.
And he sort of said, right, this is it, I'm a big prophet dude now and everything as well, and I know shit, I've seen shit, you know what I mean? And
I've seen the real
which he kind of did, but of that time, you know, sort of biblical stuff, right? So Elisha, using this mantle as beget, right, goes back across the Jordan, right, and there's a load of people that kind of greet him like a returning hero. And because of this, there was a shit ton of water. They were all thirsty, all these people there. Using this mantle, he purifies a load of bad water. It suddenly turns into drinking water.
Nice.
Big miracle occurred, right? There's a lot of that usual shit carries on, right?
Yeah.
So there's been like a massive sort of like drought in a particular area, right? So then he makes a prediction, does Elijah, in this other in this particular, says, don't worry, your droughts are going to stop really quick. They do stop. It's counted as a miracle, right? There's there's another prophet's widow, right? He's in a fucking load of debt, right? She's in a ton of shit, right? Yeah, so, prophet dies, he fucks off, widow's left behind, no fucking money. Basically, the gig economy's up. So apparently one of the miracles that he performs is he takes like a little bit of oil they had, multiplies tons of oil, turns it into a fucking oil magnet, what I mean? So it'll probably be oil or that kind of, so
they love the oil back then.
They love the oil back there, you know what I mean? So it's like, so it's a basically sort of like, that's the kind of thing. He's he sorted all that sort of shit out for him, One thing that I found, another prophet he did, another miracle he did was Elisha change a pottage, which is really fucking. We've talked about pottage before, I think. It's a grim stew. It's a grim stew that everybody made, and all it's made from is poisonous gourds. That's all they had. The only thing they had to eat was. So anyway, he fucking magicked it into a nice little feast, right? Fed 100 men with 20 loaves.
Oh, usual.
Yeah, the usual shit.
Yeah,
fucking tick, right? One that I'm not fucking happy about. They did. So apparently Elisha journeyed to Damascus, right? Intervened in the whole fucking war that were going on in the area, right? And he sort of like, he'd done a bit of ear whispering as this guy. So he sort of said, what I think you need to do right now is Elisha directs one of the sons of the prophets to anoint Jehu, the son of Jehoshaphat, as king of Israel, and commissions him to cut off the house of Ahab. So, and that's another Ahab's another prophet, all that sort of stuff,
political
right?
move with the boys.
He had a wangle, right? He did this. And because of that, they had him kill all the sons of fucking Ahab, right?
Whoa.
How many sons? 70 sons. And all their family. And all other killed. Killed the fucking lot.
Whoa.
Right? Everything I see about Elisha is a bit of a fucking tamper. He's a bit of a wangler, right?
Yeah, he's no saint.
One thing that Elisha was known for, right, was the fact he was a bit of a baldy.
All right.
He's a bit of a baldy, a bit of a Gary Baldy, right? I had a bit of a baldy head, and he was a bit sensitive about it. Was this guy? You know what I mean? Yeah. bit of sensitive, right? So anyway, Elijah, right? He's out, right, and he went. This is in the Bible. This is in Kings. So he went up to the town of Bethel, right, and he's heading up towards Bethel. It's not Bethlehem. It's another town called Bethel, right, nearby. On the way there, loads of lads come kicking out, right? And they see him start taking the piss. So basically saying, go up, you bald head, go up, you bald head. They're all shouting, basically calling Baldy, going, on your way, Baldy, go and fuck off, do one. You know what I mean? Load of kids, and he's scuttling along, right? He gets proper fucked off, right? Does Elisha. And Elisha turned round, cursed them in the name of the Lord, right?
Yeah.
Summoned 2 female bears.
What?
And the female bears tore 42 of these kids to bits for calling him bald.
What? And that's in the Bible. 2 female bears.
This is classed as a miracle.
One of his miracles.
One of his miracles was, and like basically said, and lo, obviously this is what shows the powerful man and honoured man that Elijah is, the sort of prophet you should not mock. These kids mocked this prophet, and God sent 2 bears to murder 42 kids for taking piss out of his
he's on his way home from a slaughter, isn't he? With Ahab and kids and that. He's
exactly
on his way home, all baldy head, all happy. Can't take a ribbon and gets 2 female bears.
So let's fucking say, right, so he's been given the mantle of being a prophet from Elijah. Says, well, I can't have twice as much, can I?
Jeez.
He's been fucking ear whispering with loads of people, sort of messing around with fucking politics at local area.
Couple of cheap tricks here and there, you know what I mean?
He knocks himself in with some prophet's widow, gets in there, goes, I can sort you out with a bit of oil,
I can make it.
Yeah, I can make it. Yeah. Just pull his special magic pump and let's see what happens. Right? See, there's 10 times as much as you thought that bit. Oh, you got a bit in your eye. Next thing you know, he's summoning 2 fucking bears to kill 42 kids for calling him bold.
Quite a good imagination. I didn't know they had bears out there.
What do you mean imagination?
Well, coming up with bears, it's like, you know, you could just strike them down with thunder.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Do they have bears out there?
Yeah, they're fucking bears everywhere then.
Is it?
Yeah, there were bears everywhere. And wild animals just all over. They had fucking lions in the area then. Bears. They had
tigers?
No, not all my. Not all my.
I can't help doing it.
Yeah. They're just wild animals are fucking everywhere. It's 800 BC.
Yeah.
So you've got to realise that's like basically the Iron Age kind of thing. You know, sort of, I'd imagine. Yeah. No, Iron Age was probably a bit before that. But it's like...
Shit ton of animals
about. Shit ton of animals about. You know, the people were still fucking struggling around a bit, you know. I mean, there was obviously high civilisations.
Yeah, but only in them kind of areas, you know.
Yeah, that's it. This is quite wild areas, really. It's wild, wild west for this sort of thing. You know, you're in your sandals and fucking loincloth most of the time. You're going to get eaten by a fucking bear if you're not careful.
It's scary, isn't it?
I know, but can you imagine if you did, though? You know your little Johnny. Oh, yeah, what about him? Taking piss out of Elisha, wasn't he? Oh, God, no.
Not about his baldy head.
Yeah, not about his fucking baldy head.
You know what he's like about his head.
You never believe what he did. What's he done? Summoned a bear. He killed 42. Oh, classroom. It's worse than fucking Aberfan with fucking coal mine. You know what I mean?
Absolutely old class.
Can you imagine mess?
I can't imagine it.
42 kids all in bits all over the floor. These big fat bears eating away on them all.
All arms.
I mean, if
82 arms?
82? Well, there might not be that many left after bears have had them. Can you imagine?
Jeez.
And he's a fucking saint, he's a prophet, and he's in Bible.
In all of the Bible.
So this is where I think reading this, I thought to myself, right, this is what I need to go through saints and find all fucking batshit saints
all
now.
wrong uns.
All wrong uns, all weirdos.
That's a good mission.
And also the ones which are the most fucking vague saints, because these people have been saints for doing something stupid.
Are there?
Oh, you just look and you think, really?
What, back then in day or recently?
Yeah, well, all the way along. All the way along, the whole fucking shooting match. You know what I mean? You look at
it's a dodgy world, innit?
Yeah, that's it. Well, it's like sainting anybody now. I mean, there's more saints have been made in the last sort of, I think it was by Pope John Paul II, by any other pope.
Wow.
He made fucking loads of saints, and we can look at some of those. So what we'll do is we'll look at antiquity, we'll look at sort of a more recent times, then we'll look at modern day saints. I will do that. So watch this space for a saint special at Kraken Cove. Yeah.
The saints.
Fucking hell.
Wow.
I was probably going to stay in.
That's what I'm thinking. There's no point doing another one, Skip. You want me to fucking edit? Well.
The shoe is on the other foot, our kid.
Is it that time already?
It's that time already.
Again, I'm enjoying it. These little juicy sound bites and that'll be very good.
We've covered everything. We've covered fucking idiots. We've covered witchcraft. We've covered saints. We've covered all sorts of fun stuff.
You're looking at it, really, very good.
So what we're going to do now is we've got for the final one. This is a story I fucking loved in the news. This is fairly recent, over the last sort of it's less than 2 weeks old is this one, you know. And we're going to Australia.
Nice.
We're going to Sydney Sea Life Aquarium.
Oh.
Right. And we're going to go visit Sphen and Magic.
Dolphins?
Nope. Penguins.
Ah.
We're off to go visit a couple of little penguins, right? Now this story is one of the best fucking stories I've ever heard. And this is from Emily Wind from The Guardian, which I think is a wonderful name.
That's a great name.
Emily Wind.
Magical name.
It is a magical name, is that, isn't it, right? Sphen and Magic are 2 gay penguins.
Oh, bless.
The sweetest things going, like the Gen 2 or Gen 2, I'm not sure how you pronounce that one really, right? So it was approaching his 12th birthday. He was nearly 12 years old, very old for a fucking penguin, is that right? And Sphen died of natural causes, right? They're globally famous, these penguins, right?
Yeah.
So penguin keeper Rennie Howell witnessed the couple's love story bloom from the beginning as their pair's impact impact as a worldwide symbol of equality was immeasurable. Sphen and Magic's relationship began the same way as many other species, including humans, with courtship. Penguins will typically bow or sing to one another during this time. But Gentoos are unique in that they will also collect and present pebbles to each other.
Aww.
They bring little gifts.
Aww.
So they wooed each other.
Little bows?
Yeah, little bows and that. So it's really polite, right? So you see penguins searching along the beach, along the ice, looking for all these perfect pebbles. So they'll select them. It's not any old pebble, perfect pebbles to give to the partner.
How do they pick them up with the beak?
Pick them up with the beak.
Yeah.
Pick them up with the beak.
Not much choice, have they,
and
really?
they use these pebbles then to build a nest in which they lay their eggs.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
So Sphen and Magic shot to fame in 2018 when the news of the same-sex male relationship in the aquarium gained headlines. They just celebrated 6 years together and successfully adopted and raised 2 chicks.
My God, that's so modern, is that?
Yeah. Well, a big issue we have with penguins couples, if there's an issue if they reject the egg, a lot of penguins, that's it. Fucked, you know what I mean? Because a lot of the nurturing instincts, there's some females will try and adopt the egg if they see a lost egg, but it's never successful. They don't have the bond.
Oh.
So that if they haven't got their own egg, they'll sometimes try and adopt an egg, but they haven't got that bond or the support system. But because these 2 penguins could support each other, these 2 male penguins, they did this. Yeah, and they So Howell said that same-sex partnerships are thought to be somewhat common amongst penguins, but what was different about Sphen and Magic was how they shared their duties as parents. They took their individual turns on the nest. They would go out and search for food, and then they would come back and swap the care of the egg.
So this is in the wild, or imagining?
No, it's in the but they were still searching for food. They're still going through the natural instincts. So they are in an aquarium. They would go out and find food and bring it back for the one. So when the food was given out, the penguin on the nest wouldn't leave the nest. He'd sit and wait, and then the other one would bring the food. Then they'd swap round, warm the egg, sit down. The other one would go search for food.
That's
adorable. They swapped roles, and they took equal care of the baby. In the wild, when one penguin dies and the partner doesn't know what has happened, they will typically keep on going searching for it. This is the problem.
Right.
So this is it's like a partnership for life. So, but they almost like constantly grieve. Then they're looking for the partner. So So Howell said this is why the keepers of the aquarium felt it necessary. They'd all had a bit of a conflict. They'd got their heads together and said, "What we're going to do?" Sphen's died. Magic doesn't know.
Oh yeah.
So they thought, well, if Magic doesn't know it, Magic for the rest of its life, he's just going to be searching around for Sphen.
Oh, God.
Right, so they didn't know.
Can't they show a dead penguin? Like, look, it's dead.
That's what they decided to do. That's why they come to this thing. So the keepers at the aquarium felt it necessary to show Magic that Sphen had passed, so he could understand his partner wouldn't actually be returning.
Oh, God, that's so upsetting.
The keeper said it was an incredibly emotional moment when Magic was taken to see Sphen's body, alongside the Gentoo colony and all of the other staff members. So they kind of presented the body, right? The keeper said it was an incredibly emotional moment when Magic was taken to Sphen alongside the Gentoo colony and all the staff members. So everybody all went to get together at the same time. They presented the dead body, right, of Sphen to Magic to show what happened. Look, this has happened, right? And then Magic tipped back his head and began to sing. He began to sing. Nobody had ever witnessed this, ever.
What the hell?
He was presented with the body, and Sphen began to sing, and all the colony began to sing along with him. They formed a chorus of mourning, singing penguins. The air was filled with the singing of the penguins.
What the fuck?
It showed the impact Sphen had on his partner, and that Magic actually recognised that his partner was there. He knew him. He knew he had passed, and they were singing for his passing.
Is it a nice song? You sure you ain't screaming?
Well, I think there's probably a mix of the two in that. It might be a mourning wail, but it's the fact that all the other penguins joined in as well. And they said there is different sounds that they say, but for the aquarium staff, they said it was really incredibly emotional. They're just all in tears, and they said it was a beautiful send-off.
My God.
And he says to us, they weren't just penguins. They all have their individual quirks and personalities. It's a real sad loss losing any one of them.
How gay were the penguins? Were they actually, going at it together, or did they just mate?
They've not really gone to the nitty gritty of whether they're actually regularly bumming each other. I don't think they were going out clubbing. They might have gone through like the mating procedure, but I think more than anything they weren't interested in any of the females in the colony. They were interested in each other. They were a life partnership together, and they lived, and obviously their partnership passed on with it.
Solemn is that, isn't it?
Solemn, innit? Really. But it does show that, when people talk about like relationships, people, gays this, and again, coming back from the Bible, all that sort of stuff going on in the Bible, you can fuck off in the Bible.
Exactly.
I want gay penguins. I want gay relationships which last and are really nice.
What's up with shellfish and gayness when he's out there slaughtering people with bears?
And I'll tell you something for free, right? I do a lot of work around markets and things like this, right? You see some couples traipsing around together, they've gone great flavour. They've come to the end of their tether with each other. You see gay couples, they're having a right life.
Yeah, they are. They're having a good life, aren't they?
Generally, they've got nicer clothes. This is the thing I always spot, right? I can spot gay people there as a couple because they're well groomed. They've got nicer clothes. As they get smell nice. As they get older, they put on a bit of weight. The gay couple. So why? Because they're going to have lovely meals and having nice time together and all that sort of stuff. One of them's usually a better cook than the other. You know what I mean? Cooking nice meals, having a right life, and why not? Fucking enjoy yourselves. That's what life's all about. I've decided, life, all it's about is being happy. Well, what's the secret of life now? Try be happy. That's all it is.
Try be a gay penguin.
Try be a gay penguin.
Yeah, I'm going to set as my power animal now. Gay penguin.
Gay penguin. We need gay penguin tattoos, don't we?
Big gay penguins.
Big gay penguins. That's it for us now. You know what I mean? That's what we need to fight our way across these stormy waters, across the dolphins and the orcas. We need a whole fleet of gay penguins to come to our rescue.
Let's put an advertisement out. Welcome at Cove.
What we need to do, perhaps if we sing loud enough, maybe they'll come for us. Let's have a little penguin song. Here we go.
Fucking mogwai then.
You know what I mean? But on there, all it's left of it is a big bye-bye from Matt.
It's a bigger bye-bye from Benny. Take care, guys.
There are 3 ways you may contact Kraken Cove. Either by email at krakencovedpodcast@gmail.com, on Twitter at Kraken Cove, or Instagram at Kraken Cove Pod. Ha ha!
Well, I can't.